In this video, we will introduce the equipment and supplies you need for home blended food for tube feeding.
Let's review the different feeding tubes that can be used for home blended food. Depending on your hospital and your surgeon's plan, your initial feeding tube may be a PEG tube, MIC tube, Mickey, or Mini 1. Once your surgeon determines your G-tube tract or stoma site is healed, you can begin using blended foods for your G-tube. Blended foods by G-tube works best with 12 French tube size or larger.
There are 3 methods for delivering home blended feeds for tube feeding. Which delivery method is best for you is determined by factors including thickness, also called viscosity, length of time needed, and your child's tolerance of their home blended food. Your healthcare team will help you choose which one fits best for your child. The preferred way to feed your child home blended food is syringe feeding because it is effective and efficient. Using a 60 ml syringe, put the syringe tip into the food. Slowly draw the blended food into the syringe by pulling the plunger until you have enough food in the syringe. Here we have our doll model with a G-tube and feeding extension already set up and ready to be fed their meal. We will connect the syringe tip to the feeding extension set, unclamp the clamp on the extension set, and we are ready to start the meal. Apply gentle pressure on the syringe plunger to push the food into the tube. This is called bolus feeding. The timing should be similar to a child taking bites, chewing, and swallowing their food, and naturally eating a meal over 15 to 20 minutes, or as tolerated. There are many different syringes to choose from depending on your equipment. Globally, the ENFit syringes are the most common system. These syringes have a silicone O-ring that can be used multiple times with home blended food and are easy to clean. The ENFit transition connector can be helpful to allow easier uptake of home blended food into the syringe.
Gravity feeding can also be useful in some settings. For this, we recommend using a large bore gravity feeding set. With a roller clamp in the closed position, pour the pre-made home blended food into the gravity feeding bag. To prime the feeding line, place the connector tip into an empty cup. Gently begin squeezing the drip chamber in the middle until it is filled to the halfway point. Next, open the roller clamp fully to prime the rest of the feeding line and allow the home blended food to make its way down to the end of the connector tip. As we see the first few drops drip into the cup, close the roller clamp and attach the connector tip to the child's feeding extension set. We are now ready to start the meal.
This doll model has a G-tube and feeding extension set and is ready to receive the home blend. We will hang the gravity bag near the child. Keeping the bag within reach, the higher you hang the gravity bag, the faster the home blended food will flow. The lower you hang it, the slower the blend will flow. Unclamp the feeding extension set and begin to slowly roll the wheel downward on the roller clamp to the halfway point. Watch the drip chamber. The rate of the drip shows you how quickly your blend is running. Allow the blend to run for 5 minutes and watch how your child is tolerating the blend. Adjust the wheel up to slow the rate and adjust the wheel down to speed the rate up as needed. Other factors affecting flow are the child's position, activity during the feed, abdominal pressure, the temperature of the blended food, and the room temperature. To improve the gravity flow of home blended food recipe, you can add water to adjust the thickness. Please join us in video number 9 to learn how to test the thickness of home blended food.
Feeding pumps are made to deliver thin liquids, so many pumps do not work with thicker liquids such as home blended food. A pump may be needed for children that are unable to tolerate syringe or gravity feeding. A pump provides a slower, more consistent flow rate. The thickness, also known as viscosity, of home blended food can be made thin enough to work with a pump. Speak with your dietitian if your child requires a pump for their home blended food. Thanks for joining us.
We hope this series helps you and your family on your home blended food journey.
Check out the resources for this video and other videos in this series.